Mastering the AK-47 is essential if you want to compete at higher ranks. It can get one-shot headshots from any range and a 3-shot kill to the abdomen, all for $2,700. The AK is so good that more experienced players tend to pick up AKs on CT side, since both M4s and the AUG can't get a one-shot kill past close range. In this video, I'm going to show you how best to use the AK-47 in every situation, how to best practice to get good really fast, and of course, everything you shouldn't do with the AK. Let's first cover shooting straight. You should first hop into a practice game or a workshop map, find a simple wall where you can stand about 10 to 15 meters away, and shoot 10 bullets. The number isn't so important, you can shoot the whole clip, just look at the pattern on the wall. If you notice, the first 6 to 8 bullets are very predictable. You can learn the exact pattern to counteract the recoil with your mouse, allowing you to shoot all the bullets in the same spot. The further away the target, the harder it is to control the end of the burst. Depending on how far the enemy is determines how many bullets you should shoot in a burst, eventually getting to one tapping, but we'll cover that in a bit. Practice standing still and controlling 6 to 8 round bursts. Once you can get a few somewhat perfect groupings, it's time to add the movement to the practice. You're going to have to move a lot on T side, and the AK is very inaccurate while moving. This is where counter-strafing comes into play. If you're going left and you need to shoot an enemy, counter-strafe with D to stop immediately. Then it's the same as shooting as you did earlier. It's really hard to counter-strafe when you aren't going side to side, so I advise trying to strafe left and right when you think you're about to engage in a fight. To practice, go to the same wall and counter-strafe before you stand still and shoot. You'll know you're messing up when you see bullets flying way off your grouping. You can get away with imperfect counter-strafes up close, but the further you go out, the more likely your bullets will miss. Now we know the AK has bad movement and accuracy, but lucky for us, the recoil is separate from movement and accuracy. This means if you ever get caught running and can't counter-strafe, you can control for recoil and either crouch, walk, or both. This gives you the best chance to save yourself if you get caught while being aggressive, as you have to be aggressive at some point with the AK on T side. Walking while shooting can also be used intentionally when pushing sights with your team. You'll be less accurate, but the point of pushing a sight is to overwhelm the enemy, and you can still shoot in the general direction and have a good chance of getting a kill. Only walk while shooting when you need to clear corners or shoot enemies. It's also not a guarantee you'll need to walk shoot every time you push a sight. It's just another option. Crouching or crouch walking will increase your accuracy at the cost of moving like a turtle. Crouching is useful with the AK when you need to shoot more than 3 bullets. If you crouch mid shooting the AK, it moves your crosshair down, which artificially controls your recoil. And since you're now crouching, the rest of your shots are now easier to control. You can also crouch when tap shooting at far range to get more accurate shots off. If you stand and shoot, you'll have to wait longer between shots to allow the recoil to reset. Once you get the hang of counter-strafing as far out as mid-range, you're going to need to learn to one-tap to land accurate shots. There's plenty of common spots on every map where you'll need to check for an enemy. You want to time a counter-strafe to where you stop in line of sight of the spot, shoot, then strafe back to cover. If done properly, the enemy won't have enough time to react, giving you a free kill or at least information. You will need to understand where an enemy's head is relative to the spot you want to one tap, so you can line up the crosshair before you peek. It's useless to peek and try to line up the shot at the same time. So if you miss the one tap, you can just use what you saw as a guide to realign your crosshair and take one more shot. The best way to improve your crosshair placement for one tapping is with a workshop map or deathmatch. In some cases, you may have to one tap to win a fight face to face, but it's most effective with an angle to use as concealment, whether that be close or far. Once you got this down, you'll start getting kills that make you think you're cheating. For our last part, let's go over what not to do with the AK. The absolute worst thing you could do with the AK is run and gun. You'll miss every shot, even up close. The chances of you hitting a headshot are very slim, and you could forget about hitting enough body shots to get a kill before the other guy kills you. If you can't counter-strafe in the situation, or if you don't want to learn how to counter-strafe, at least walk or crouch to give you the best chance of getting a kill. Avoid engaging fights moving forward if you can. The AK is already less accurate while you're moving, but if you're walking towards the enemy, this puts you at an even greater disadvantage. When you're about to peek a corner or get into a gunfight, swing sideways and try to counter-strafe if you can. Moving sideways will make it easier to counter-strafe, and it makes it way harder for the enemy to get a headshot. If you're moving forward towards them, your head would only just get easier to hit. Moving side to side is the way to go. Another no-no is getting into the habit of always crouching with the AK. When I was learning the AK and I found out about crouching making it easier to shoot, I would just crouch in every engagement. And I still sometimes do that when I get desperate for a kill. Crouching mid-spray is a good tactic, but doing it in every engagement will lead to you using it in a situation where it could be better to stand, like going into a sight or fighting at a weird angle. Lastly, don't force yourself to use the AK. It's a difficult weapon to use, and if you force yourself to use it in your competitive games, you can cost your team the round. If you see an AK, be a good teammate and pick it up for your team. Someone's going to be down to trade you for an M4 or something. Remember, it doesn't matter how your team gets the win. as long as you win, without cheating of course. If you're still practicing with the AK and you're not doing well with it right now, accept it and play with something that you are good with in the moment. You'll do much better with the weapon you can use rather than one you can't. I'm gonna start making more videos like this, like a specific guide on a weapon. So if there's a weapon you want to see, leave a comment telling me which one it is. Also, starting Tuesday, I'm gonna be streaming on this channel, playing horror games, CS2, and anything else you guys want to see. I'm gonna stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 6 to 10 p.m. PST. Come stop by and say hi. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.